If you guys are looking to move to Colorado and you are looking for the best deal, this video is for you. We're going to start off diving into the top 3 communities where I think you can get some of the best prices and the best incentives when it comes to purchasing a home. And then after we cover those top 3 communities, we're going to be diving into just some of our top strategies and tricks and secrets that we use to save our clients thousands of dollars every single day. If that sounds like that's what you're looking for, guys, stay tuned. We are going to jump right into it. So before diving into the communities, I want to break down what we consider a good deal. First and foremost, when we think of a good deal, we're going to think of price point. So what we're going to be doing is comparing the price points of these communities to the average price points for the entire Denver metro area. What's the other thing that constitutes a good deal, in my opinion, is exclusivity. So is this a deal that is available on every single home that's out there, or just a few select homes where you can get a really good price? In addition to what's a good deal, I'm not talking about a good price on a home that is 2 hours away from Denver or 2 hours away from the airport. Location and proximity to all of the cool Denver things that you're probably looking for are going to be a big consideration as well. So factoring in those 3 components are what I use to put together this list of the top 3 communities. With that being said, guys, let's finally jump into community number 1. Now, starting off with Sterling Ranch. Sterling Ranch is located in southwest Littleton, and it's actually a little bit removed from Littleton. I'll show you guys here on the map where specifically it is. So here at our little pinpoint, we've got Sterling Ranch right here. Now, traditional Littleton is up here a little bit higher, right? So Sterling Ranch sits actually just southwest of Highlands Ranch, and the reason that this made our number 1 list of where to find a good deal is because this place is located so close to the foothills and Roxborough State Park right here, where you just have absolutely gorgeous, stunning views, as I'm sure you guys are looking at from some of our drone footage and walkthrough videos that we did for some models in Sterling Ranch just a couple of weeks ago. New build incentives that they have out there are absolutely incredible. Actually, all the communities that we're going to talk about on the list today are new builds because, man, you will not find a better deal than you will find with a builder right now. And let's talk a little bit about why that is. So if you guys are looking at buying a new home, most of the big companies out there, the big builders, they have relationships or partnerships with mortgage companies, or oftentimes they have a mortgage company internally within their home builder brand. So if they have a partnership with a mortgage company or they own the mortgage company themselves, they are able to offer just ridiculous rates for buying their home because they don't need to make money on the mortgage side of things. They can make money on the actual home itself. So they have a lot more control over how much they can buy down your interest rate. Right now, where the buyers are a little bit slower, homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer, they have the most control over incentivizing people to come in and choose their home over another one, right? Or a pre-existing home. So for example, we just had some clients go under contract this past week in Sterling Ranch. Shout out to Dave and Ingrid. Guys, they were able to get such a ridiculously low interest rate. They actually had a $30,000 incentive to be applied towards closing costs, buy downs, however they wanted to apply that 30 grand from the builder themselves. And utilizing that 30 grand, they were actually able to get a ridiculous 2-1 buy down. So that basically means that there's a 2% discount on their first year. So they got their first year mortgage at 2.99. Their second year of their mortgage is going to be at 3.99. And then from years 3 going forward to years 3 to 30, basically, they're capping at 4.99. Even at the 3-year forward mark, their interest rate is still a full, 2 to 3% lower than what you're seeing it on average right now. And that's sort of the deals of the year. Such a good rate. But again, this is a deal that's not just available to them. This was just what that builder was offering at the moment in Sterling Ranch. That checks our first box of being a good deal and our second box of, being exclusive, right, to that particular builder with a particular set of homes. But guys, we see these sort of deals all over the place with all sorts of builders. Let's touch on Sterling Ranch here just a bit more. Right here is the community. The community is going to be massive, and this is really just the start of what we're looking at here. There is a lot of open space surrounding driving Sterling Ranch here, and I'm going to come down and give you guys a little 3D pan, and I want to show you guys just how close we are to the mountain. So here you can see the community. Right now, just imagine the views that some of these homes have out here as you're looking at the foothills and the sunsets that are going to happen right here. This is just absolutely spectacular. So if you're factoring in sense of community, a great deal, exclusivity, and location, proximity to the mountains, man, Sterling Ranch is definitely a place you guys need to check out. Now, homes in Sterling Ranch are starting about $600,000 compared to Denver's average home price right now of $650,000. You're looking at a new build that is substantially less than the average home price of the area, which really just means, guys, that this is something that is a hard deal to pass up, particularly when you're looking at buying a home. You know, one of the biggest things that people talk about when buying a home is just the cost of home ownership. Furnace goes out, your air conditioner goes out, you know, there's a leak in the bathroom. One of my personal favorite things about buying a new build is that you've got that first year home warranty that's kind of porch to porch with the builder. Traditionally, you'll have a couple of years for your major appliances. Some builders have longer warranty programs than that. And then you're looking at typically 8 to 10 years with structural. I love the fact that you can get a brand new roof, brand new major mechanicals. At least the first 3 to 5 years of living in your home should be pretty headache free. Your expenses are much more predictable, which also means that this is a great option for people who are considering buying this as an investment property, knowing that, hey, for the first handful of years here, call it maybe 5 to 10 years, you're not going to have to do a whole lot of maintenance on that house. Jumping in here real quick, guys, to remind you that we are licensed real estate brokers. So you'll see a phone number popping up on the screen below. We are the guys that answer the phone calls, text messages, and emails. And guys, we would love to help you purchase a new build, negotiate with these builders, get you the best possible deal. Or also, if you're interested in a resale, we help tons of clients every single day do both of these. So whatever that may be for you, we'd love to help you out. But with that being said, let's get right back to the next community. All right, diving into community number 2, we are going to go just a little bit north from Sterling Ranch, and we are going to hit another ranch, but this one is Red Rocks Ranch. Now, here we are on the map. You can see this pin. This is Red Rocks Ranch. Sterling Ranch, for the record, is just right down here. So we're heading probably about 20 minutes north or south. What is so appealing about Red Rocks Ranch is its proximity to not only Red Rocks, which is one of the greatest outdoor music venues in the world, but also it's located in Morrison, Colorado, which is just very cute, old-timey town. And this is about as close as you can get to the foothills without actually needing to be within the foothills. Let's come over here to Google Earth and show you guys just where we are at here. So this is an old map here. You're not going to see a whole lot of homes here because this is such a new community. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about here. So here's the Red Rocks Ranch community. Right here is Red Rocks Amphitheater, which if you guys are not familiar with Red Rocks, man, you guys have got to check it out. It is absolutely stunning. The community is built right here next to 470, which means that you are going to have, and I'll show you guys right here, here's 470, here's Red Rocks Ranch, which means that you're going to have very close proximity to jumping out into the mountains. And it's also going to be very easy for you guys to get to the airport. You are looking at about a 45-minute drive to the airport. You're looking at about 25 to 30 minutes downtown. So the location is phenomenal here. Now I'm going to bust out my marker and show you guys kind of how easily you can get on the highway here. So here's Red Rocks Ranch. This is 470. And 470 is going to come down south. It's going to come out all the way east and then loop back up north. This is what's going to take you out to the airport. Or if you're looking to get out to the mountains, there's a couple ways you can go ahead and do that. You can either just jump right on 74 here and head out west, or you can come up north on 470, jump on I-70 and come all the way out here and get to all of your major ski resorts. Location, top notch. Now, as far as the builds out there, we are looking at Lennar Homes is your primary builder. I believe they're the only builder out there. And just take a look at some of this footage here, guys. You're going to see like, man, traditional neighborhood. This is very similar to something that you may see like in a Castle Rock or Parker. When you talk about how close you are to the foothills, you are literally just across the highway from that. Now you're looking at a starting price of about 600,000 here, going up to just over $1 million. So you've got quite a wide range of homes that are going to be out here. You do have some townhomes and patio homes where you're looking at low to no maintenance as far as yard care. Some of those have that like 3-tier design with a really nice upper level balcony. Now, one of my other favorite things about the location here is you're sitting right next to Bear Creek Lake Park. Coming over here to Google Earth, I want to show you guys a little bit of perspective. So let me reorient. Here we are facing north and south. You're going to have the Red Rocks Ranch community right here. And then you can see just across Morrison Road, here we've got Bear Creek Lake. So you have big lake here. You've got a golf course over here on the east side. You've got trails that are cutting all throughout the lake here. You've got an archery range here. You've got a campground, and this is a state park. So you're literally across the street from a state park where you can take the dogs out to walk, go and exercise. And then across 470, again here, you've got downtown Morrison, which again, just super cute, old-timey downtown community here that really hasn't been like changed that much. I'll jump down on the street here to show you guys just what I mean by cute and old-timey. This is exactly it. This, when I think of cute and old-timey, I have all these like rooftop bars that are out here, and this is just such a cool community that is just, you know, really hasn't been changed much over the years. And then here you are just heading right into the foothills. You have your cute little old ice cream store here. When you're looking at a new build home that is this close to the mountains and Red Rocks, which is also great for hiking, in addition to the music venue aspect of it, this is just such a unique place. And it has been a long time since Morrison has had any sort of new builds in there, that this is just such a good community. I couldn't resist putting it on here for you guys. Now, guys, I had to pause taping here real quick because I wanted to get on the phone with the builder to see what they were offering as their current incentives over at Red Rocks Ranch. This is early December when I'm recording this, so if you're watching this video at a later time, they probably won't have this deal anymore, but they are always recycling different incentive programs. So if it's not this exact one, they will have something close to it or similar most likely. But right now for conventional loans, they are offering a 4.5% interest rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage for any of their quick move-in homes. For this builder and all the other builders, generally, you're going to be looking at different incentives for the quick move-in homes that are move-in ready versus something that you are building from a dirt start, which typically takes anywhere from 8 to 12 months. But right now, guys, at Red Rocks Ranch, they are offering 4.5% interest at a 30-year fixed rate, which is phenomenal. Now, for our final community here, we are going to talk Crystal Valley in Castle Rock. Now, if you guys have watched our channel for any length of time, you know how much we love Castle Rock. Crystal Valley is one of those neighborhoods that we haven't dove into a ton, but it is very popular and it is ever growing. So I will jump over the map here to show you guys exactly where in Castle Rock this is. As you guys can see here, here's where we have downtown Castle Rock. We've got the outlets that are up here, if you guys are familiar with that, on the north side. So as we come down here, we are going to see the Plum Creek Golf Course, and then just below that we are going to have Crystal Valley. Now, if you guys are familiar with Montaigne, that's another very popular neighborhood right here just to the west of Crystal Valley. You're gonna have homes in Montaigne that are starting around 700 going up to about 1.3, 1.4. But over here in Crystal Valley, you're getting all the amazing views that you still have here in Montaigne, but a way more affordable price point. So this is one of the main reasons I wanted to throw Crystal Valley on this particular video, because you're gonna have homes starting around the 500 to 550 range and then going up from there, which just makes this the most affordable place that we're talking about on today's video. Coming over here to Google Earth, I want to show you guys just a little bit of sort of the landscape that you're going to have around here. So this is the entire Crystal Valley neighborhood. If we tilt us down a little bit, so keep in mind this is looking out east where you don't have mountains, right? The Rocky Mountains are to the west, but you can still see here just all the bluffs and the landscape. This is very Castle Rock and unique to Castle Rock, and a big reason why a lot of people want to move down there. So you have views out to the east and just beautiful open space everywhere. I want to show you guys this real quick. This is a really cool park that they have here in Crystal Valley that has your traditional soccer field, playgrounds, things like that, but then all these trails up here. This is like a little mountain bike course or something. I'm not a mountain biker, but mountain bike trail maybe. So they have these trails that go all throughout this particular open area of Crystal Valley, which again is just very unique. And then as we spin around here looking out to the west, This is where you really get to see just the beautiful mountain views that I'm talking about. You got Pikes Peak right out there just to your southwest. So this is just a phenomenal neighborhood, really good sense of community. And you're probably about 5 minutes from downtown Castle Rock and maybe 8 to 10 minutes from the outlets that are at Castle Rock. You are on the south side. It may be a little bit further if you're traveling to Denver on a daily basis, but if you're looking for the most affordability with all of the amazing perks that Castle Rock has to offer, Crystal Valley is going to be your place. Now, as far as their current incentive programs, there are many builders out in Crystal Valley, but I just spoke with one of them. And if you're curious which one, comment below or throw us a phone call, text message, or email to that number that's popping up below, and I'll tell you who the builder is, but I don't want to throw their name out on here. They don't usually like it when we're throwing their current incentives out there because they do change, like I mentioned before. But this particular builder, and they are one of the best ones here in Colorado, if that's a hint for you guys, they are offering a 2-1 buy down for their quick move-in homes. That 2-1 buy down, again, is where you're going to get a 2% discount on your first year. It goes to a 1% discount on your second year, and then it goes to a fixed rate for 3 to 30 years after that. So it does cap out at a fixed rate for the 30 years. It doesn't just keep going up. But check this out. Their first year rate is 3.875. The second year goes up to 4.875. And then 5.875 from years 3 through 30. Now, the idea is hopefully between now and the next 3 or 30 years, interest rates can come down substantially and you might be able to do a refinance and get your rate lower down. But worst case scenario, even if it doesn't, you are still capping out at about 1.5% lower than where current rates are right now, right around 7%. So again, guys, I hope this video is useful for you because this is just an absolutely crazy way to save a ton of money right now with the current market. And it's especially useful right now because the builders are more incentivized than ever because it just has been a slower market due to the higher interest rates. So they are doing everything that they can to get buyers out to their homes. Now, let's dive into some of the tricks of the trade that we help buyers navigate and talk a little about maybe some of the frequently asked questions that we get from buyers. One of the biggest questions that we get is, instead of doing an interest rate buy down, will builders just reduce the sales price of the home? So there's two parts to that. Number one, you will save way more money taking any sort of amount that they are offering towards closing costs or concessions or rate buy down or anything like that and buying down your interest rate versus just reducing the sales price of the home. For example, if you were to reduce the sales price of the home by $10,000, you're roughly saving yourself about $50 a month on your mortgage payment. Okay. If you were to take that same $10,000 and buy down your rate, you're saving yourself anywhere from $100 to $200 per month as far as your mortgage payment. So ultimately, you'll save way more money applying that towards an interest rate buy down. Now, the other reason builders typically don't like to reduce the sales price of the home is because that's going to impact future appraisals, not only for you, but for the other residents that are in the neighborhood. You want the homes to keep appraising and you want the homes to keep appreciating. So let's say you buy a quick move-in home and they drop the price $50,000 for you. Well, that person that's doing a dirt start build in the same neighborhood with potentially the same model, they're going to be closing on their home, but your home is a comparable property that closed for 50 grand less. His property might not appraise and he might be on the hook for that extra $50,000, which nobody wants that. So those are the two big reasons why you may want to apply whatever concessions that they're offering you for using their lender instead of reducing the sales price of the home. Tip number 2 we have for you: the timing does matter. Right now, where we are at year end, a lot of these builders are trying to get as many of these properties that are currently built off of their books. So they're offering crazy incentives right now. Typically, you will find the best incentives towards the end of the month. However, don't let that keep you from talking to these guys and having these conversations at any time during the month, because oftentimes the salespeople that we have great relationships with are able to pull some strings, and they do greatly appreciate having a pre-approved buyer who is ready to purchase something right now. If you are in a position where you are ready to buy, we have a lot more pull as far as incentives, as opposed to if we're just kind of in there, we're not really pre-approved, and maybe we're just kind of kicking some tires. They might not be the most motivated to pull some strings for you, even if it is at the beginning of the month. But also worth noting, the incentive packages that they offer almost work as a grant. So they will typically have a big lump sum of concession amounts that they are allowed to give per buyer that is purchasing one of these homes. But once once that fund is depleted, they can't offer that incentive anymore. But don't stress, they are typically always coming out with new funds and new incentives month after month after month, or as soon as that one pot runs out, they will get another one. Might not be the same exact deal, but it should be something fairly comparable. However, there is a slight level of urgency here because, like this 2-1 buy down program that I just mentioned, that one is particularly good, and it might not be that good coming into the new year or the following month after that, or whenever that pot does run dry. So if you do find a great deal out there and there's a house that you love, man, it is something that you should jump on sooner than later, or at least give us a call and we can make some calls on your behalf to the builder to see what level of urgency there is. But if we do find a great deal out there on something, it's definitely worth the phone call. It's definitely worth the phone call because there's a good chance that that deal could just not be available the next week or even the next month. And then lastly, we do often get questions about if you need a realtor to represent you when you are purchasing from a builder, or if you guys are responsible for paying an agent's commission, or does the builder pay the commission? I would say the number one thing about using an agent when you're talking to a builder is the purchase contract you use with the builder is not the standard Colorado real estate purchase contract that you use when we're buying any other resale home. The builders make their own contracts. Now, not to say the builders are out there to get you or anything like that, but there are some different moving parts. Things are not as flexible and fluid on a builder contract as it may be on a resale. So it definitely helps having a second set of professional eyes going through that on your behalf, not just necessarily taking the builder's word for everything that is in that agreement. So that is number one. Number two is knowing all the right questions to ask. If you go in as a single buyer to a builder, they might not be motivated to give you the best deal if you're ready to purchase at just what the sticker price is. So having an agent that knows how to negotiate on your behalf and ask the right questions to make sure that you're getting any and every incentive that's possible goes a long way and can literally save you thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars. And lastly, the builders build in a buyer agent commission into their bottom line. So you never have to pay our buyer agent commission we're buying from the builder. That is something that an agent works out with the builder directly. If you're coming into a situation like that, why not have free representation where someone can negotiate on your behalf, have a second set of eyes on the contracts, and ultimately just make sure that you have somebody in your corner that's not necessarily costing you any money. So guys, I hope you have found this video helpful. Again, we are licensed real estate brokers and we help clients every single day from our YouTube channel, and we do a ton of business with new builds. And a lot of these builders and salespeople in communities, they're super familiar with Will and myself. They're familiar with our YouTube channel. It really does help, guys, when we're coming into these communities and we are a familiar face to these guys. It can go a long way, and if anything, just help the process go super smooth. So whether you guys are looking for a new build or a pre-existing home, we would love to help you out. So you'll see that number popping up below. If you give us a phone call, text message, or email, we are the guys that answer the emails and pick up the phone, reply to your text messages. So reach out. We'd love to help you guys, and we'll see you next week.